Hello, welcome to this video on my alternative channel, Anti-War. This is a channel Anti-War, and today we're looking at Stag Beer. And this is the American Stag. I think there's one in Europe, England, called Stag, but this is Stag Beer, golden quality since 1851. There was a little brewery in Belleville, Illinois. I'm not sure where that is. I think it's probably not too far from St. Louis, but let me look. Belleville, which would be like beautiful town, beautiful village. Here is a off-white head, not totally white, and a pale straw appearance, bubbly. It is 4.6% alcohol. I know that because I looked at a distributor's website. I think the IBUs are 10, but it's 4.6% alcohol. Belleville. Yep, just southeast of St. Louis. 7:15, about 20 miles southeast of St. Louis. So that's still where you'll find it today, and that's the only place you're going to find it. St. Louis and southeastern Missouri. Southwestern Illinois. So you can find it in the eastern Missouri area near St. Louis and the southwestern Illinois area near St. Louis. But if you go to the very bottom of Illinois, I don't think you're going to see it. And if you go to Chicago, you're not going to see it. I've never seen it in the Chicagoland area. 4.6. Yeah, it smells like regular old beer. You say, what do you mean regular old beer? Like Old Milwaukee or Pabst Blue Ribbon or Heileman's Old Style, something like that. It's got maybe a little more sourness than Miller High Life. All this could be made at the same brewery, Miller Brewery. This was sent to me by a guy named Jason in Missouri. And he's not too far from St. Louis, so he sent this to me. He was going to give it to me when he came down here, but he forgot it. So he mailed it. Thank you so much, Jason. Now the taste. Standard. It's not like a Pilsner. It's got a lot flatter taste than a Pilsner. And I don't mean flat like no carbonation. Pilsner's got that rich cracker. But these American adjunct lagers don't have a rich cracker taste. They just have a generalized, maybe bread crust flavor. Slightest tingle of hop bitterness. Medium body and a crisp finish. American beers are not devoid of flavor, but they're largely flavorless. They're popular because they're refreshing. It's a warm, humid day today. I have the windows open. That may change later. But they're refreshing. They're easy to drink. They're quaffable, if you want to call them that. A beer like Stag is not contemplative. It's not made to swish around in a glass sitting by the fireplace and thinking about events, world events or whatever, philosophy. It's made for cookouts, steak and potatoes and broccoli and spinach or whatever, gravy perhaps on the potatoes, and you know what I'm saying. Bread and butter, apple pie for dessert, that type of thing. You're not going to go to a fine dining restaurant in St. Louis or anywhere else and see this served. Oh, they have beers at fine dining restaurants. They do. But it'd be like Michelob Ultra Organic, maybe some European beers like Stella Artois. You say, well, those are not really that fancy. I know they're not, but that's the kind of thing you're going to see there, you know. Anyway, you may see this around St. Louis bars, taverns, restaurants, but we're talking about maybe 50 miles west of St. Louis and maybe 100 miles east, north, east, east, southeast. So it's like a not a big area where you're going to find this. Oh, the distributor must have made a mistake. Either that or they adjusted the recipe because it says 4.5% on the can. But the distributor said 4.6. Sometimes these things change and they don't update their websites. I didn't post a link below for the Stag website because it's a worthless website unless you want to buy swag from Stag. The website mainly is about buying jackets, pullovers, sweaters, caps, t-shirts, and like cup holders, actual glasses, things like that. But as far as getting information on the beer, the website does you no good. So I'm not going to put a website like that. But I had done research years ago when they did have good information on the website, and I put that in my blog, alcohol brands, and I was able to go look up Belleville, Illinois. But it was called Kaiser Beer. It wasn't called Stag. It was called Kaiser. Kaiser, which in English would be Caesar or Emperor. Is what the word means. Commander in chief is what it means. The word emperor means a commander in chief. But starting, you know, with Caesar Augustus, first person appointed emperor, Kaiser, Caesar, as we say in English. To honor the German emperors, okay, Kaisers. Which is the way the word is pronounced in Latin and German, Kaiser. In 1907, they changed the name to Stag. I don't know why. Was there some kind of anti-German feeling going on or whatever? I'm not aware of any, but and it certainly wasn't in the St. Louis area, which was like heavily German and very pro-German. So they probably just wanted to make a more American thing, which would be like a deer, a stag, you know, a buck. Or maybe Buckhorn beer was getting popular and they wanted to compete against it. I don't know. There was a beer called Buckhorn, but it's no longer made. So this is a simple beer, but it's a very good simple beer. And I like it. I could show y'all some old cans and bottles if you'd like to see them. Craig Swinson, all right. I'd love to try this beer. Of course, I've never seen it in the Northeast, and you're never going to. So can I buy a jacket and a hat, but not the beer? I'd rather have the beer first. Right. So you can go to their website. You can just buy all this stuff. That's really what the website is called, the Stag Shop. And there's a little reference to the beer, like, oh, it's good, you know. But as far as being interested in the product, it's worthless. And then, you know, you can't go to the Pabst website. All you do is give you a link to the shop. So, and the distributors don't say much. Like the one I got on, it was just saying some Illinois website, you know, in that area, distributor saying something like, oh, it's an old heritage beer. A lot of people liked it. There was its own brewery at one time. You know, that same old story, not no more. They didn't mention that it used to be called Kaiser Beer. They just had the wrong ABV, 4.6. But like I said, to be fair, it might have been what it was in the past. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. I got some old bottles. Let me go see if I can find Stag Ice. So here's a 1990s bottle of Stag. That short neck, like they used to make all the time with all the brands. It's a stubby neck. It's almost like a hipster thing to wear old beer clothing. but not actually drink it. Just a thought. Yeah, I think you're right. They just like to wear Pabst or Schlitz jackets or Stag maybe. But to drink the beer, no, they're probably drinking kombucha or seltzer. um, so that's what the bottles look like when I first found it. With this old Highlanders Brewing Company cap, when they were making it in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Oh yeah. Well, never mind. Detroit, Michigan, because that's after Stroh's bought Heilemann. Because this says Heilemann Brewing Company, Detroit, Michigan. Well, that was the Stroh's brewery. And that brewery's probably demolished now. I know it's closed. But it's probably just a big, either a empty, huge building full of vagrants and rats, or probably more vagrants than rats. Rats don't go where there's no food. They go where the people are to get their food because they're too lazy to go find their own. All right, here's Stag Beer. Then I saw a white label. Now here's the original label I saw. I know this has to be original because it says La Crosse, Wisconsin. See, it was a white label and said Stag. That's the first one I bought here. I bought a 6-pack of this. Then the next time I was driving up in that area, then I saw the gold. Golden quality since 1851. Okay. Here's an older can from my collection. They had come out with it. Oh yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So this has been when Pabst had already bought it and it was already being brewed by Miller under contract. They had gone to a new modern design with more stylized antlers and all a few years ago, but I don't guess people like the labels. So just in the past month, they went back to this one. This is from 2011. So I bought this 11 years ago. No ABV here. So the first one that shows the ABV is the new can. Let's see, does it look different? Just that the old can, the deer is a little bigger. But basically it's the same. Let me see if I can find the Stag Ice. Aha! I knew I'd find it because I would never dream of throwing that away. I found this in St. Louis, in the city of St. Louis on Broadway Street, right next to the river, right by the Mississippi River, at a convenience store called Circle K, which we have down here too, Circle K. And I went in there. Anytime I go to St. Louis, I always go in that store because I always find something I've never seen anywhere else. Every time. I always enjoy your collection, says Craig. Thank you. John Anile says, wow. I'm so jealous right now. This is a classic beer, and it's definitely on my bucket list. Wish I could find it. I know it was sent to me. Thank you so much, Jason. Now, there's a little yeastiness to it, but look, really, if you want to know what it tastes like, just go get any of these other regular beers, and you'll know what it tastes like. I'm not saying that to be ugly to the beer. I'm not saying that to disparage it. Maybe now, maybe it has a little more toastiness to it. Like maybe they toast the malt a little more, and that could be in the recipe. Toast malts to level 6. And they're like, level 6? But everything else is toasted to level 5. Just do it. All right. You know, that kind of thing. So, like it'd be the same ingredients, but it's toasted a little longer. Because that's all I can determine with the. It's like if you're eating toast and you say, well, hers is lightly toasted and his is just a little bit more darker, you know. But the difference is just so minimal. It's like, I know why you want to try it though, because then you could have the can for your collection like I have it, you know, and then you could say, I've had that beer. Okay. And I get that because I'm part of that. I'm part of that whole mentality. Here's the Stag Ice. I was in 2012. I knew it was 2012. That's by October 1st, 2012. I was in St. Louis. I'm in Circle K. I was looking through the cooler and I was like, oh, wow. I didn't scream out, wow, but I was saying to myself. So, of course, I bought it. And it's 5.9, which is the same as other Pabst beers at the time, like Old Milwaukee Ice, which is now 6. They adjusted it. Was this the same thing as Old Milwaukee Ice in a different canister? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Didn't really taste the same, but I got it. I bought it, and I was like, wow. And I went back home, which means I came back here, and I checked their website when I had time, and it was showing now Stag Ice. All right. And then I never saw it again. So it must have went over like it went. But, you know, typical Pabst, they don't promote anything. They just stick stuff on the shelf and say, let's see what happens, which is usually nothing. So then they get rid of it. Looks like their coffee beers are doing all right, though. You get the 4-pack now. Oh, what a deal, right? 11-ounce can, not 11.2, just 11. And so expensive. And I mean, they're good, but I'm not going to repeat buy them. Once was enough. So there's the famous because of me, basically, Stag Ice. I don't think anybody ever did a video review for it aside from myself, because probably nobody ever saw it in a store besides myself. But that's cool. Really cool. Is there a Stag Light? Well, you know, knowing Pabst, there probably is, but they might not even realize they make it. You know what I mean? Like it might be on the store shelves, and the people from Pabst are saying, you know, we make a Stag Light? Oh. You know. So those things there. And like this here. I was in Alabama once. Wait, is Stag Ice still produces John and LA? I mean, it could be. I haven't heard of it since I bought it. But like I was saying, remember what company we're talking about. They probably have beers they make that they don't even know that they make. So, I mean, after all, they lost the recipe for Schlitz. Like how do you lose a recipe for a product? And I was joking. I said they probably kept their recipes in a shoebox somewhere and they couldn't find the box. But that's probably what they did. And for real, in real life. They were so disorganized, you know. I was in Mobile, Alabama once. And, in typical, I'm going to look in the coolers just to see if there's something unusual there on these road trips. So I'll look in the cooler. There was something unusual in the cooler. Schlitz ice. I'm like, I know I'm buying this. Same thing. They stick it on the shelf. Say, let's see what happens. And then usually nothing happens. Nobody buys it, so they get rid of it. I mean, this company is... Well, this is back when it was Stroh's owning Schlitz. But it was the same thing. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just sticking stuff on the shelf. All right. But yeah, I mean, there's so many examples. I could spend all day showing you examples of this. So who knows what these people make? All right. So how would I score Stag? Well, it's definitely one of the top tasting American adjunct lagers. I can't say it's a macro lager because the production is pretty much micro. So it's macro produced in the sense that it's made by a mass production company, but the production level is probably very low. I mean, it's probably much lower than Dixie Beer ever was, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be huge just because it's sold in 2 states. I think their brewery shut down in like 1918, something like that. When Prohibition was about to start, they shut down, and then it never came back, and then somebody bought the rights to it. It was like somebody like Heilemann, and then Stroh's bought Heilemann, and Pabst bought Stroh. But I would score it an A, like a 94, not a B plus or a B minus or an A minus, just an A. It's a most excellent beer with the considerations that I gave, that it's not super flavorful, but it's not supposed to be. Okay. I don't know what the price is. When I bought it years ago, it was like $5.99 a 12-pack. But that was years ago, when other products like Miller High Life were also $5.99 a 12-pack. All right. So much potential, John and Illy says, so much potential with these iconic Pabst brands. It's just a shame they don't care about these classic products. They might care about it. They just may not have any money. That's the impression I get. They really don't have any money. The company is kind of poor in the sense that they don't really have a production or marketing budget. That's why they don't have television ads. That's why they don't have radio ads. Not usually. Have I seen ads on TV and the radio for Pabst products? I have, but they're so rare. They can't really even afford magazine, or like maybe they can afford some internet ads here and there in a spotty sense. Mostly their money goes to point of sale, which means on the site at the store, the point of sale. So they'll have like displays set up in a store. But besides, excuse me. But besides that, you're never going to see anything. You just might go to a liquor store, or like I went to Circle K convenience store, and they might have a little display say, this month only, Stag Beer, buy one, get the second one, half price, something like that. I'm talking about like a package. But that's it. And most consumers, they might just pass that by because they say, I've never heard of Stag Beer. And you know how people are. They hard-headed. They're not going to try something new. I talk to people in everyday life. I say, you ought to try this beer. Oh, I never had that. I said, I know. That's why I said to try it. They're telling me what I know. That's why I said to try it. I know you never had it, but they won't try it. And they'll tell me things like, I'm not going to try that. It's probably nasty. I said, what leads you to that conclusion? Because I suggested it. Maybe I have bad taste, but that can't be the case because you actually never tried any beers I suggested. So you don't know what my taste ability is. And I'm thinking about one guy in particular at work. He told me, "Oh, natural ice, that stuff's nasty." I said, "You've had it?" No, I don't think he actually ever had it. He just says he assumed it was nasty. Oh, well, that's a great way to measure your preferences. To not actually ever try it, just assume it's bad. That's incredible. Okay, regular Genesee, for example. Oh wait, I'm missing some. These 4.6 to 4.8% beers are actually hard to find. They are my favorite lager, says Craig Swinson. Well, I bought a 4.7% beer today. It was easy to find. It was right there at the store. It was it was Miller High Life Light. No, Miller Genuine Draft. That Miller Genuine Draft version. I can get Schlitz at that same store, 4.7%. Oh, I'm sorry. Nowadays, yeah, or 4.6. Pabst Blue Ribbon, which they now claim is 4.8. I can get those three products at that same store. All right, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. But you're not me and I'm not you. It might be hard for you to find. Regular Genesee, for example. Yeah, well, Louisiana. Wasn't Schaefer around 4.7? Yeah, I think 4.6. People claim there's no actual info on that. I used to buy Schaefer like it was crazy, like I was crazy because it was easy drinking. To me, it used to always seem like it was 4.5. Like you get these thoughts in your mind, I used to always think this must be 4.5. I don't know why. I just always think that. And it tasted so good. So, and it was like if somebody said to you, "What does beer taste like?" And you would use Schaefer as the perfect example. Say, "Try this. This is what beer tastes like." Or this is what beer should taste like. And I would get the 24 packs, suitcase, $7.98, $7.98 a suitcase. Wouldn't you buy it? Okay, $3.99 a 12 pack, same price either way. Oh yeah, who wouldn't buy that? So then they cut Schaefer around here, and then we could only get Schaefer Light and barely get that. And now we can't get any of it. And that is just a shame. All right, well, that's enough of that. So you could make the argument that this whole video had no point because people can't get it to a large extent, to a great extent, to an almost complete extent. Yeah, I can't argue against that. On the other hand, that could be said for half the videos I make. Most of the beers I review, most people can't get. So why even do videos? Why even have a channel? Why even? Because I see videos for people all the time on the internet for beers I never heard of. I mean, I don't watch the videos, but I'm sure there's other people watching. They might say, "Oh, I have that." Those were the days, like Archie would say. Yep, those were the days. So thanks for watching this video production. Now I'm going back to the regular channel and we'll see what happens. I did 2 whiskey reviews, challenges this morning, not reviews. And got one right and got one wrong. And I was really shocked by the second one, but now I got what? 5 and 7. Yeah, 5 wins, 7 losses. So it's a shame. Oh, but that's just too bad for me. All right, thanks y'all. And is it possible I could get the Jethro T Boots correct against Dickel? Yeah, I think I will. Won't mean much because George Dickel tastes like Flintstone vitamins. That's not a compliment to that Jethro T. Boots is so great. It's just an indictment of some kind of problem with Dickel. Like, why Dickel should not taste like that. All right, you're welcome. He says, thank you, sir. You're welcome, Craig. And y'all take care. You hear? Thank you.